It's a pleasure to have you here. The details now. Finance Minister Ofori Atta has justified the Agyapa Minerals royalty agreement, insisting it is the best way to efficiently manage Ghana's gold royalties. At a media briefing in Accra, the minister explained that for many years the nation has not really benefited from its gold and that the deal will be the game changer. Finance Minister's briefing came a day after some 15 CSOs called for the deal to be suspended. Listen to him.
Governments and our people get far less than what we deserve. We are placed at the bottom of the list of the beneficiaries of our own riches, whether it is gold, cocoa, timber, oil, bauxite, or diamonds. The story has been the same everywhere. This is predominantly to do with the fact that our value extraction ends at a point at which these resources leave our shores. Unfortunately, analysis undertaken over an extended period has shown that the largest increase in value occurs at exactly this point when it leaves our shores, where raw resources leaves the country and is converted into either refined products or monetizable securities. 500 times more gold is traded every day than is mined. Much of this happening in countries that have very little gold to themselves. President Akufo-Addo is clear in his mind that to achieve a Ghana beyond aid, we must add considerable value to what we produce and trade.
Finance Minister also responds to the CEOs raising issues with the deal.
With anyone, I saw one of the letters in which it talked about indecent haste and that there's no national emergency. If COVID is not a national emergency, I don't know what is. That there's a lot of, what do they call it, a lethal disadvantage to go to the stock market at this time. And this is the best time for the pricing of gold. I mean, if you don't take advantage of this, when else would you be able to? But I think, you know, that the issue that really was hurtful and made me discount the letter was when they ended saying that we are trying to stop elite capture, you know, which essentially meant that we here are doing this for ourselves and we have some shares in that. So if that frames the mindset in which it was brought, it makes it really very difficult to see whether it is genuine or it's intended, because you've seen us operate for 3.5 years, in which all we have done is to follow this Akufo-Addo plan to make sure that everybody benefits. And so to talk about elite capture was for me a very painful issue. The challenge for me, it's, you know, the opposition has been aware of this transaction since 2018. And have been part of the discussions, negotiations, etc. I can only hazard that because it's close to elections, they may feel that there's a political advantage of some sort. But it's not hasty, it's not new. And I saw some of them in the committee discussions, so obviously in which they were supportive of all of that. So there must be a new element, and the only element I can see is 102 days away, when December 6th. And so, but they are doing their job as opposition.
Finance Minister Ofori Atta responding to some CSOs days after they had raised concerns with the Agyapa Mineral Royalties deal. Now, one of the questions that has come up is what government intends to do with the funds that will come from this deal. We hear from Deputy Finance Minister Charles Boahen.
What do we want to use the money for? Really and truly, we want to focus on investing in four key areas. Primary capital expenditures in education, in health, in housing, and in infrastructure. You know, we would like to upgrade existing schools in the mining areas, the University of Mines and Technology, might be a good idea to maybe look to see if we can enhance their operations, maybe help them set up a jewelry training or jewelry design course, so that we can create more value add along the gold chain. But just the whole gold value chain, we want to really be able to go further up the value chain and not just mine the raw ore and export it in its raw form. We need to be able to build refineries to refine the ore and do more value add. On the health side, it's all about resilience. I think this pandemic has showed us how important it is to make sure that we have health facilities across the length and breadth of the country, and especially in these mining areas where these miners always are running at the risk of their lives in these conditions. On the housing side, I think also the pandemic has showed us the importance of housing across the whole country, and we believe that it will be a good use of the monies to self-support some of our initiatives in the housing sector. Then also the road infrastructure. There's a lot of roads in these mining areas. In fact, a few of the mining companies have, as part of their social corporate responsibility, down the roads or improve the roads, but also for their own use because they use them. And a lot of heavy trucks ply these routes because of these mines. And it's important that these roads are kept in good condition in order to attract investment into these areas. And I know my chairman Duka here is smiling because he's from Takwa, so he appreciates, the need for all these initiatives. We also would like to support the new development bank we're setting up, which